Hello, everyone. Pam DuBois, Dream Real Estate TV. Today I have a couple special guests with me. I have Alan Weiner with Short Sale Services and Juanita Winkey Kennedy with Exit Landmark Realty in Clinton, Maryland. We're going to talk about short sales today. So if you've had any questions about short sales or foreclosures, we have an attorney here and a real estate agent, and we're just going to chit chat about some information about short sales. Thank you guys for being with me.
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you for having me.
So Juanita and I wanted to just chat first about what's happening with the lender's response to COVID and forbearance. That was your question, right, Juanita? So lenders—
Yes, what is forbearance?
So lenders, in light of COVID last spring, which seems like 100 years ago now, last spring, lenders were required to put people on a forbearance if they had COVID-related financial issues. It was supposed to last 6 months, and it's lasted longer. And now, under the next administration, which as of next couple of days, they're going to extend it even further. But what it's done is basically saying if you have a COVID-related financial issue, we are not going to begin foreclosure. We're going to forbear from the foreclosure. We're going to defer your payments for X amount of months. So where the confusion is, so if your payment was $2,000 a month and you've missed now 6 or 7 payments, that's $12,000 or $14,000. We're going to go another 2 or 3 or 4. So it's going to be close to $20,000. What the lenders have not said is how they're going to recoup that $20,000. It's not gone away. It's going to show up somewhere. So one of the options is write a check for $20,000, which I think a lot of people don't have the ability to do. The other one is to work out a repayment plan with your lender. So you're paying your normal payment of $2,000 a month and an extra $200 or $300 towards that deferral part. Or you add the $20,000 or so onto the back end of the loan. So if you owed $150 when this started, you now owe $170. Does that make sense, Juanita?
Yes, that does make a lot of sense. And so what we wanted to do was kind of educate the public on, we know that we're in this pandemic going on right now, and some people are losing jobs and also having trouble paying their mortgages. And so we wanted to just kind of let people know what the options are. And can you give us briefly, like, what is a short sale so that we can kind of explain to people what a short sale is?
Sure. Well, a short sale is when you owe your lender more than the property's worth. So simple examples: Mrs. Jones owes $200,000 to Bank of America, but but the property's worth something less than 200 or right around 200. So after paying all the closing costs, she's not going to have enough money to pay the Bank of America in full. So she applies for what's called a short sale. Our office will work with realtors like Juanita, and who will list the property. We will then process and negotiate with the lender to get the lender to accept the lesser amount, so to allow Mrs. Jones to walk away without owing any money back to Bank of America. So if the sales price of the property ends up being $190, after closing costs and everything else, it might be $170, $165, $170 goes to the lender. We tell Bank of America, we want you to accept the $165, and the additional money that Mrs. Jones owed you, that $200, we want you to waive and let her walk away. Now we do that. The bank pays our fees. They pay Juanita's fees. They'll pay all the closing costs. So there's not going to be any money due from Mrs. Jones to complete this transaction, generally.
Okay. And then my next question is, does it adversely affect the person's credit to do a short sale?
Sure, it's no different. It's substantially different from a bankruptcy or a foreclosure. So it's going to affect your credit, but it's going to come back. Your credit will come back within 2 years. So you can generally buy a property 2 years later if you've been a good citizen since this moment. So it's going to hit your credit about 80 to 90 points. It's going to be reported on the credit bureau, as paid and settled for less than the amount owed. So it's not going to show a balance. You have a zero balance, but it's going to show that you reached a settlement with the lender. So that's our goal, is to get what's called a full deficiency waiver. So they're not going to come after Mrs. Jones for the balance. They're going to say, okay, Mrs. Jones, we'll let you go. You generally need some type of issue in your life. We call it a hardship, but it's either loss of job, loss of hours, illness, any of those bad things that happen in people's lives. So that's generally the way we go. And then we would work with the seller, get all their financials, prove the value, and then Juanita or another realtor would sell the property at market price. And then we'd submit everything to the bank and say, this is how much they're going to net from the transaction. And as a result, Mrs. Jones gets to walk away without owing Bank of America any money and not having to deal with them calling her every 5 minutes. Now, back to your original question, Juanita, about the COVID response. What people are forgetting is that even though Bank of America hasn't been calling them for the last 6 or 8 months, they're going to call. At some point,
they sure are.
It's coming. You know, it's coming. So be prepared, people, for if you're 6 or 8 months or 9 months behind, or if you say, I can't catch up, or I've lost my job, or my hours are cut, you need to start thinking about it, because it's coming, and we want to get to you and we work on your issue before the foreclosure starts, because once the foreclosure starts, it becomes a runaway train that we have to deal with, and it's hard to slow that down.
Well, thank you for all of that information, and we are just hopeful that everybody will call Alan up if they have any questions. And so can you give your contact information, Alan?
Sure. My name is Alan Weiner. My company is called Short Sale Services, and I can be reached via, my phone is 301-362-5900, and my email is awein555@gmail.com. That's awein and 3 5s @gmail.com.
Okay, great. Great information, you guys. And if you actually have any questions, if you email Alan, please reference Juanita so we actually can keep it all together and know where you actually got the information from. Juanita, please share your contact information.
Well, you can reach out to me at juanitak1969@gmail.com. I'm with Exit Landmark Realty, located in Clinton, Maryland. And I would love to work with you. And Alan and I, we work together all the time. And so if there's any questions or concerns that you may have, you can just reach out to me and we will definitely take care of you.
Yeah, and the one thing we will do real quick and before we wrap it up is we're here to help you. I mean, yes, we're all in this to make a living, but when we think that the short sale is the right thing for you, it's going to help your life substantially. It's going to get you out of this mess. You're going to be able to rent a property or figure out another living situation. Juanita can help you. And then in 2 years, you can buy at the new price point that you can afford, and your credit gets cleaned up and you start over again.
Right.
And the big bad people at Bank of America are not going to be calling you anymore.
Right. And it makes so much more sense to actually go through the short sale than to let the property go to foreclosure. Right.
And there are other options. So if you are in trouble, call us and we might be able to come up with a better solution for you.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, we would love to help you.
Yeah. Great information, you guys. Thank you so much for being with us. Everybody stay safe. Please be blessed, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you.